Pistol shots ring out in a ballroom night. Enter Patty Valentine from the upper hall. She sees the bartender in a pool of blood, cries out, my God, they've killed them all. This is the story of Hurricane, the man the authorities came to blame for something that he never done. Put in a prison cell, but one time he could have been the champion of the world. 3 bodies lying there as Patty sees, and another man named Bello moving out mysteriously. I didn't do it, he says, and throws up his hands. I was only robbing the register, I hope you understand. I saw them leaving, he says, then he stops. One of us had better call up the cops. And so Patty calls the cops, and they arrive on the scene with their red lights flashing in a hot New Jersey night. Meanwhile, far away in another part of town, Reuben Carter and a couple of friends are driving around. The #1 contender for the middleweight crown had no idea what kind of shit was about to go down. To couple them over to the side of the road, just like the time before and the time before that. In Patterson, that's just the way things go. If you're black, you might as well not show up on the street. You're gonna draw the heat. Bell had a partner and a rap for the cops. Him and Arthur Dexter Bradley were just out prowling around. Said I saw 2 men run out that looked like middleweights, jumped into a white car with out-of-state plates. Miss Patty Valentine just nodded her head. Cop says, wait a minute, boys, this one's not dead. So they took him to the infirmary. Though this man could hardly see, he told him he could identify the guilty man. 4 in the morning and they all Reuben in. They took him to the hospital and they brought him upstairs. The wounded man looks up with his one dying eye, says, what'd you bring him in here for? He ain't that guy. This is the story of Hurricane, the man the authorities came to blame for something that he never done. Put in a prison cell, but one time he could have been the champion of the world. 4 months later, the ghettos are in flame. Roots in South America fighting for his name, while Arthur Dexter Bradley's still in the rivalry game. And the cops are putting the screws to him, looking for somebody to blame. Remember that murder that you happened in a bar? Remember you said you saw the getaway car? Think you might want to play ball with the law. Think it might have been that fighter that you saw running that night. Don't forget that you are white. Arthur Dexter Bradley says, I'm really not sure. Cop says, a boy like you could use a break. We got you for the motel job, you're talking to your friend Bello. You don't want to have to go back to jail now, be a nice fellow. You'd be doing society a favor. That son of a bitch is brave and getting braver. We want to put his ass in stir. We want to pin the strip of murder on him. He ain't no gentleman Jack. just one punch, but he never did like to talk about it all that much. It's my work, he'd say, and I do it for pay. And when it's all over, I just as soon go on my way up to some paradise where the trout streams flow and the air is nice, and ride a horse along the trail. But then they took him to the jailhouse where they tried to turn a man into a man. All of Reuben's cards were marked in advance. The trial was a pig circus, he never had a chance. The judge made Reuben's witnesses drunkards from the slums. To the white folks who watched, he was a revolutionary bum. And to the black folks, he was just a crazy nigger. No one doubted that he pulled the trigger, though they could not produce the gun. The DA said he was the one who did the deed, and the all-white jury agreed. Reuben Carter was falsely tried. Crime was murder one. Guess who testified? Bello and Bradley, and they both boldly lied. The newspapers, they all went along for the ride. How can the life of such a man be in the palm of some fool's hand? To see him obviously free couldn't help but make me feel ashamed to live in a land where justice is a game. Now all the criminals in the coats and the ties are free to drink martinis and watch the sunrise, while Reuben sits like Buddha in a 10-foot cell, an innocent man in a living hell. Such a life of hurricane, but it won't be over till they clear his name and give him back the time he's done. Put in a prison cell, but one time he could have been the champion of the world.